The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. This is Saurabh from Quickheal Technologies. Thank you for joining us at this webinar on security risks in mobile banking. This webinar will be presented by Mr. Nikhil More. Nikhil is an online marketing manager at Quickheal Technologies Private Limited and has over 9 years of experience into digital marketing and a passion for technology, usability, and photography. Nikhil is also a recognized expert in internet marketing strategies for the antivirus industry. At Quickheal, Nikhil is associated with the cybersecurity program, which is the company's corporate social responsibility initiative. I will now hand over the proceedings of this webinar to Nikhil.
Good morning to one and all, and welcome to today's webinar on security risks in mobile banking. Now, this is something that a topic which is very relevant to today's times because as we have known this era, especially the last couple of years, we've observed a surge in the use of mobile devices and pertaining to financial transactions happening very frequently on the rise in the past couple of years. As this technology develops and facilitates us ease of life when we do mobile banking, there are also concerns that are raised by security experts as bad guys try to take advantage of the security loopholes or the innocence of the users who are using these mobile banking facility for mistakes that they make, and then the security of the device, the information, the financials is compromised. Very quickly, let's see what is the agenda for today's webinar. Starting with mobile banking, the background of what mobile banking, how it evolved, and things like that. Services that are available for mobile devices. So, what kind of services do you use for mobile banking? Evolution of mobile banking. So, it's the history of mobile banking in short. Mobile banking in India. Types of mobile frauds, mobile threats. What can you do to help yourself, not to be a prey to mobile attacks, mobile banking attacks specifically designed to customers using mobile banking? How can Quickheal help? The most important topic today, because this is where we have developed solutions to help people, be safe from bad guys who intend to steal data, financial data from you. Before we begin today's webinar, let's quickly catch what's the brief background of mobile banking. So, mobile banking or M banking, it's most preferably known as, is performing banking activities on mobile phones or tablets. Now, these mobile phones may have operating systems like Android, iOS, Windows, or different operating systems, and then the same goes for your tablets. How are mobile banking used? Basically, it began with SMS banking. Now you have mobile banking applications, or more popularly known as apps. Mobile websites. So you have desktop websites. So you have mobile-based websites, which are the modes of which banking services are provided to customers on their mobile devices, on their handheld devices. This brings us to an important question. Before we begin the webinar, I would like to know from today's audience uh, about what are their preferences, when they do shopping uh, online. So, my question to all the audience today is: do you use mobile banking for online shopping? The answer is yes, no. Uh, the third answer is yeah, you want to try, but you think it's risky. So there is no right or wrong answer. I would like to know from today's audience as to how many people use the comfort of mobile banking to do online shopping transactions. We have close to 60% of today's audience casted their vote, but since it's the beginning of the webinar, and we have more and more people joining us by every second counting, I will give some more time for today's attendees to cast their votes and share their opinion with us as to if they use mobile banking for online shopping. We've close to 70% of today's audience casted their vote. Now, mobile banking, when I say it could be using the mobile site, or it could be using the mobile application or app, more popularly known as, to do your shopping. Like you have your various e-commerce sites who have their own shopping apps, like you have the Amazon, you have the Snapdeals, and so on and so forth, where you can shop online. So what is that you choose to do when it comes to mobile banking? So I think we have close to 75% of today's audience casted their vote. I would now close the opinion poll and share with you the result of this opinion poll. We have close to 51% of today's audience who uses mobile banking for online shopping. There are 21% people who say they don't use mobile banking for online shopping, and there's 28% of today's audience who think they want to try mobile banking, but they think it's risky for them to use. So I will try and answer all the questions and queries that you might have regarding mobile banking. Uh, if time permits me, I will try and answer the questions that you may have. You can type it in the chat window, and I will try and answer your questions by the end of the webinar. If we do not have time to answer all the questions, then please do not worry. We have your email details. We will email you the answers to your questions that you send us. So you can either send us the questions via this chat window, or you can email us at corporatecommunications@quickheal.co.in. Moving ahead, what are the services that are available on mobile devices? Uh, you see, most commonly, the mobile devices are used for online banking to check your account statements. Second is alerts on your account. So there's a credit alert, or there's a debit alert. There's alerts for payments, checks that's been deposited, or amounts deposited to your accounts. You can even order checkbooks using online banking. You can monitor your term deposits. You can check your balances. You can transfer funds, make bill payments, access your if you are holding a loan account with the bank, then you can access your loan statement. You can access the transaction history on your account. You can check for all the e-commerce transactions, or rather all the transactions that you have done using your debit card or your credit card or your internet banking facility. On the most, you can also book a locker, so on and so forth, and so many things that you can do using online banking. So what was the evolution of mobile banking? So this starts somewhere in the year 1947. It's very, very old technology, where AT&T created the mobile telephone service, allowing customers to make calls using a simple 79-pound device. In the year May, in the year 1995, in the month of May, the Wells Fargo Bank was the first bank in the world to offer customers access to their account over the internet. The earliest mobile banking services offered SMS-based service. So you send an SMS to a predefined number, and you get the information. With the introduction of the first primitive smartphone with WAP support, that's wireless access protocol support, enabling the use of mobile web in the year 1999. The European bank started to offer mobile banking solutions to their customers. Sorry, M-banking, mobile banking, and how did it start in India? So, mobile banking in India is growing like never before. As I said in the start of this webinar, mobile banking transaction volumes have now touched over rupees 17,000 crore on a monthly basis. That growth has a scorching place of five-fold growth in the past 10 months. From June 2014 to March 2015, M-banking worth rupees 95,000 crores was conducted through 15 crore transactions on mobile phone devices. In terms of value of transaction in March 2015, HDFC Bank leads the pack, followed by ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, and so on and so forth. What is the threat landscape to the mobile devices? So the smartphone users is exposed to various threats when they use their phone. These threats can disrupt the operations of smartphones and transmit, or modify the user data. For these reasons, the applications deployed there must guarantee privacy and integrity of the information they handle. In addition, some applications could themselves be malware. The functionality or activities should be limited, for example, restricting the apps from accessing locations information via GPS, blocking access to user address book, preventing the transmission of data on the network, or sending SMS or messages that are billed to the user generally when they are not supposed to be done. There are three prime targets of attackers. So, first is data. So, smartphones are the devices of data management. Therefore, they may contain sensitive data like credit card numbers, authentication information, private information, activity logs, which is calendars or call logs, identity, where smartphones are highly customizable so the device or its contents are associated with specific person. For example, every mobile device can transmit information related to the owner of the mobile phone contract, and an attacker may want to steal the identity of the owner of a smartphone to commit other offenses. Availability. The attacking a smartphone can limit access to and deprive the owner of its services. The source of these attackers are the same actors found in non-mobile computing space. Who are they? They are professionals, whether commercially or military, who focus on these targets mentioned above. They steal sensitive data from general public as well as undertake industrial espionage. They will use the identity of those attacked to achieve their other attacks. Second people are thieves who want to gain income or money through data or identities they have stolen, especially regarding the online banking customers. These thieves will attack as many people as possible to increase their potential income. Then are the black hat hackers who specifically attack availability. Their goal is to develop viruses and cause damage to the devices. In some cases, hackers have an interest in stealing data which is present on those devices. Then you have the gray hat hackers who reveal vulnerabilities. Now, their goal is to expose the vulnerabilities of the device. Gray hackers generally do not intend on damaging the device or stealing the data present in the mobile device. What are the consequences of it? Well, when a smartphone is infected by an attacker, the attacker can attempt several things. The attacker can manipulate the smartphone as a zombie machine, that is to say, a machine with which the attacker can communicate and send commands, which will be used to send unsolicited or spam messages, which is in the form of an SMS or an email. The attacker can easily force the smartphone to make phone calls or SMS, which can be related specifically towards online banking. The attacker can also use the toll free info services methods to call paid services, resulting in a charge to the owner of the smartphone. It is also very dangerous because smartphone could call emergency services and thus disrupt those services. A compromised smartphone can record conversations between the user, which is the mobile device owner, and others, and send them to a third party. Now, this can cause the user privacy and industrial security problems, especially when people use phone banking services. It's more vulnerable as the entire conversation is revealed to the eavesdropper. An attacker can also steal a user's identity, observe their identity with a copy of user's SIM card or the telephone itself, and thus impersonate the owner. This raises security concerns where smartphones can be used to place orders or view bank account statements or even use it as an identity cards in some cases. The attacker can reduce the utility of a smartphone by discharging the battery. Now, this is something that has been seen globally, not very prominent in India, but let me explain through an example. Uh, they can launch an application that can run continuously in the background, and that application will process a lot of queries, and those queries require a lot of energy to run. Therefore, they drain the battery. Now, this one factor that distinguishes mobile computing from traditional desktop PCs is its limited performance. These kind of attacks are called as battery exhaustion or sleep deprivation torture. The attacker can also prevent operation of the smartphone by making it unusable by restarting the device again and again. This can be done by deleting the boot scripts or resulting the phone in a faulty functioning operating system and modify certain file types to render the device unusable. The attacker can also steal personal information from your phone, which is photos, music, videos, etc., and use it against the owner of the mobile for its own advantage. Now, this is a very alarming statement that we have read in the Financial Times recently. 53% of Indians worry over the security in their mobile financial services. This was done via a survey. Now, people who have answered in the opinion poll saying that they are worried, they want to do online shopping, but they're worried about the risk of online shopping. Yes, definitely there is some care that needs to be taken even by the transaction doers when they access mobile banking through their smartphones. Now, talking about the survey, 48% of Indians who responded to these surveys responded positively in the ease of use of the mobile banking applications. They said that the ability to use the service anywhere in the country gives them the freedom of not sticking up to a device which is fixed at a place, since mobile is mobile basically can be taken anywhere and can be accessed from anywhere. Now, the survey was conducted by a US based software and services provider, which found that 20%, 24% with the bank accounts were not aware of the mobile financial services in India. The survey concluded that 24% of Indians will use mobile financial services for paying for education, medical treatment, utility bills, 28% for loans, savings, and insurance. However, as many as 53% Indians said security remained a concern for those who use mobile financial services. Now, why do banks stress so much on mobile banking? There is definitely some reason to it, and we have uh, researched a bit to know the insights about that. Now, app based mobile banking is now the fastest growing delivery channel. Growth is driven by several factors, including customer convenience and operational cost saving for the financial institution or the bank. The cost of processing a transaction via mobile phone can be as low as 10 times lower than doing it via an ATM service, or as much as 50 times lower than visiting a physical branch of your bank. Mobile deposits are especially cost effective. Now, a very world famous bank called JP Morgan Chase and Company recently said that the mobile checks deposits cost the bank 3 cents per transaction versus 65 cents of deposits made to a teller. So you can see the difference here is close to 20 times. The financial rewards and the customer convenience are substantial, but the potential that mobile banking customers might access the banking network via a rooted device is one of the many risks involved. As with personal computers, vulnerabilities in software installed on mobile device can give malware an avenue to take control of the vulnerability. Unfortunately, the infrastructure of patching software on mobile systems is not very well developed. For example, when Google finds a vulnerability in the Android operating system, each individual manufacturer has to create a patch for its devices. It can take several months before all smartphone manufacturers provide those patches for their Android versions. Financial institutions can leave device security management in the hands of the account holders and hope for the best to evaluate the security of the devices that accesses the banking systems. Device level security management does not require intrusion on account holders' personal information. Instead, provides a health check to device to determine the risk of malware and fraudulent activity. This brings me to another poll today, and I would like to know from today's audience as to while shopping online, how do you ensure security? I'll repeat the question for today's audience. While shopping online, how do you ensure security? Do you use familiar popular shopping sites? Do you check if the page is secure with the padlock icon? Do you check if the payment gateway is secure? Check if you're using a secure Wi Fi or none of the above. Can you tell us which one is the one that comes to your mind when you are doing online shopping? We have about 45% of today's audience casted their opinion poll. We'd wait for another uh, 20 seconds before I close this opinion poll and share the results of today's opinion poll with you. So, when we talk about popular shopping sites, basically we are talking about sites which are well known to people. That's one safe way of ensuring that this device could be secure. Okay, we have close to 60% of today's audience casted their vote. I would like to repeat this question once again in case today's audience hasn't understood the question. When you are shopping online, how do you ensure security? Your answers are: do you use a popular shopping site to complete your shopping? Do you check if the web page is secure, with which basically means that there is a padlock icon on the page before the URL begins? Do you check if the payment gateway is secure, or do you check if you're using a secure Wi-Fi? None of the above is the another option. I would now close the opinion poll and share the results with you. Okay, so 29% of today's audience think that the safest way to ensure security is to use familiar or popular shopping sites. Definitely, this is something that you should consider when you are doing online shopping. 26% of today's audience think that they check if the web page is secure, that is with the padlock lock icon. This is again something you should be doing, checking the padlock icon which is on before the URL starts. This padlock icon tells you that the information that you fill in these pages is secure. Basically, it means it's encrypted, which means even if somebody steals that information from that page, it cannot be revealed. It's all uh, you know information is completely protected, as it is turned into language which cannot be decrypted easily. 35% of audience thinks that they check if the payment gateway is secure. Definitely, this is something more important. When you talk about checking payment gateway is secure, again the points that you need to take in mind is the payment gateways needs to be something that is usually seen. Generally, all the major banks have their own payment gateways. There are famous payment gateway companies like PayPal. You have for Indian companies, you have BillDesk, Citrix, and these payment gateway companies, which are the most popular. So if you don't see something unusual, I think you should stop right there and not proceed further. 3% of today's audience think that check if you're using a secure Wi-Fi or not. Well, if you're doing transactions over Wi-Fi, and if it's not a secure Wi-Fi, which means that if the Wi-Fi does not ask you for a username and password, then you should avoid using such kind of Wi-Fi, because potentially that's very dangerous, and hackers can steal information from you. For people who say 8% people who say none of the above, well, I would like to recommend to all these people who answered this to consider the security of their information in the device and the financial transaction security before doing any transactions online. Well, I would like to proceed with the proceedings today. Let's now look at what are the types of mobile frauds. Now, you have fake mobile banking apps, you have smishing, you have frauds that is happening through lost and stolen devices, and you have traditional online threats. Let's talk about the fake mobile banking apps. Now, criminals may develop and publish fake mobile applications that look like the official bank apps, but in truth, they're designed to steal your online banking credentials. I'm sharing with you some tips which help you recognizing, how do you recognize an unofficial banking app from an official one. Now, always check for the developer or the author of that application. In case you find the author or developer of that application other than your bank, then it is a clear indication that the application is an unauthorized banking app. The app, in these cases, in most of the cases, when it's an unofficial app, these are promoted by third party sites. Now, what do I mean by that? Is generally, if you see all these banking apps, if you're talking about Android, then these are on the Google Play Store. If you're talking about the Apple operating system, then these are on the Apple Store, the official Apple Store, where all these applications are hosted. But unofficial apps generally are promoted via third party sites. Now, there is also a charge for downloading an app, because they uh, try to lure you, saying that this is a most genuine app, so there is a charge for doing it. But to the best of our knowledge, we have checked applications through many banks, and we haven't come across a single bank which charges for mobile app downloads. At least in the major banks in India do not do that. To help protect your bank account, never download or install a mobile banking app if you find any of these warning signs. Smishing. Now, what is smishing? Smishing is this basically happens via SMS text messages. A criminal sends you a text message that tries to trick into you by replying with financial or personal information, or rather clicking on a link that sneaks viruses into your mobile devices. So basically, click on the link, a short program downloads. What it downloads is actually a malware or a virus which compromises the security of your devices. Do not respond to text messages that request personal or financial information. Uh, Mind you, people, no bank will ever ask you to provide personal information this way. Third most important security risk with mobile frauds is lost and stolen devices. So mobile phones and tablets offer convenience, but they're also easy to be lost and stolen because of the small size, which can put your information at risk. Basically, here are some ways you can protect yourself in the event your device is lost or stolen. Always password protect your device so it can't be accessed unless the password is entered. Enable an automatic screen locking mechanism to lock the device when it's not actively being used. Consider using a remote wipe program that gives you the ability to send a command to your device that will delete any and every data on your mobile computing device. Keep a record of device makes, model, serial number in case it's stolen. And lastly, what's most important is keep a backup. You can use it whenever it's required. Now, except for these, there are again our traditional online threats, which are viruses, malwares, and other programs that intend to steal information, personal information, or financial details, and are also able to infect some mobile devices. If your uh, smartphone or your tablet supports a traditional antivirus product, consider installing that software. Backup the device data and keep a copy in a safe and secure location. This will allow you to restore your data in the event you need to wipe the clean data in order to remove a harmful software. Types of threats on mobile banking users. While general security risk is getting much higher, particularly for Android device users, there are many mobile device attacks that present severe risks of financial issues. Recent examples include Trojans, rootkits, spywares, and other threats related to banking. Some examples of Trojans. There are Trojans which steal your MTAN codes, which is basically codes sent by the bank in the form of text messages. There are also Trojans. One of them is a banker which steals passwords and other sensitive information. There are also Trojans which use JS injection on a PC to request mobile number, deliver Trojan via SMS, and Trojan poses as a security app itself. Bankum is one of the Trojan which replaces legitimate version of the banking app with a fake one, and Zert Security it impersonates bank logging and steals credentials. There are rootkits, which uses Rage Against Cage exploit to root the device, steal the data, and install additional apps and execute remote commands on your mobile device. There are spywares, which basically what spywares do is they pose a third party keyboard that sends or records every keystroke or touch on your device and sends that information to a third party. Now, the other trends related to banking are data mining and theft. Now, mobile devices contain a lot of data, and that data is not only pertinent to yourself but also with a lot of people whom are you are in touch with. That personal data, like your email addresses, phone numbers, uh, can be date of births, and everything can be easily stolen by compromised devices. There's something called as swim swap fraud or device impersonation. Now, these target vulnerabilities in the carrier's infrastructure. This requires off-device risk assessment techniques to detect and stop. Spear phishing and social engineering. Now, this is a weapon of choice for all the cyber criminals who conduct specific financial crimes, and they uh, create advanced attacks on corporate networks. These occur via emails, SMS, social media sites, blogs, internet messages, or news feeds. Now, commercial phishing kits such as Rockfish make it easy for even inexperienced players to launch a relatively sophisticated attack. Modern phishing sites is measured in hours and renders effectively when regularly blacklist is virtually ineffective. Now, something that we would like to share with you is what we have seen. What are the security checks and defenses? That's something that our virus threat lab at QuickHeal does research, and we would like to share with you a recently published report by the QuickHeal's virus research threat lab, which says that in the year 2014 we have seen an exponential growth in the figures of Android malware. uh, in the year from 2011, 3 years from then, Quickheal Threat Research Labs have witnessed a 304 times growth in Android malware, and this figure is directly attributed to the high rise in the Android smartphone sales and usage across the world. These uprising trends also indicate that dominance of mobile malware attacks will continue in 2015 as well. QuickHeal's threat research labs have found 536 new families in the category of Android adware, malware, or PUP, popularly known as potentially unwanted programs, and further 616 new variants affecting the Android platform. Mobile devices has greater security risks than other platforms. Mobile devices present uh, you know risks which is less user authentication, QR codes, data sharing, SMS, NFC. The focus is more on customer convenience than on the user security. It's easier to access data on compromised mobile devices than on computers, so it's a choice preference that attackers choose mobile devices for. With most increasing security concerns, mobile devices security is more and more concern causing to telephony devices, and cybercrime rates are escalating year on year because of these vulnerabilities. The types of cybercrime which may affect mobile banking might range from unauthorized use while the owner is busy with some work, or remote hacking, or even jamming or the interface via the internet or telephone network data streams. Uh, Most importantly, what with these security concerns, what are bankers or financial institutions doing to fight against these kind of crimes? One-time passwords, something that the banks use usually. This is the latest tool that is used by financial or banking service providers to fight cyber fraud or cyber crimes. Instead of relying on traditional memorized passwords, one-time passwords are requested by consumers each time they want to perform transactions using online or mobile banking interface. When this request is received, the password is sent to the customer's mobile phone via an SMS. This password is expired once it's been used, or once its scheduled life cycle has expired, which is generally 1 hour. Most importantly, let's see what can you do to avoid threats on your mobile devices. Update your mobile devices. So mobile devices are essentially small computers with software that need to be kept updated, like your personal computer or your laptop. Make sure that the mobile devices is in your house and have the latest security protection. This may require updating your devices with a computer. Guard your personal information. Protect your smartphone or tablet device just as you would do your computer. Secure your mobile devices by using a strong password or a passcode, and be cautious about the websites you visit and the information you share online using your mobile devices. Think before you download any application or app on your device. Review the privacy policy and understand what specific data the app can access. After you have completely reviewed and you are satisfied with the information, then only download these apps, and make sure you are downloading these apps from a reputed source and not from an unreputed third party source. Update your mobile devices. Uh, Keep your mobile devices updated and patched whenever there is a release of the new operating system on your device. Make sure your device gets that update and it's patched. Because unpatched devices raise security threats, and there are vulnerabilities which are covered or basically protected by these released new patch. Protect your money. When you're banking and shopping on your mobile device, check if the website that you're using is secure. Look for websites that takes extra security measures to help secure your information. Many sites now have a feature color coded browser. If you see a green highlighted browser, this is a safe site. When in doubt, don't respond. Fraudulent texting, calling, voicemails are on the rise. Just like a fraudulent email, request for personal information or a call for immediate action most of the times is a scam. So best practice, avoid, ignore them. Don't react or don't act upon such a request, because as I have said earlier in this webinar, no bank will ask you for your personal identifiable information over a phone call or an SMS. Most important is stay informed. Follow mobile security issues in news and discuss them with your friends, families, and colleagues. Explore online resources like Identity Theft Assistance Center and other security at home websites that provide comprehensive information about topics such as identity theft and online safe behavior. Most importantly, how can Quick Heal help? Now, the Quick Heal Total Security for Android device, this software comes with a lot of features which are built around the security measures for protecting your personal identifiable information on your mobile device, and also you know, give you a safe banking or safe browsing environment on your Android device. Now, there's a feature in this called as safe, it's called a scan device. So you have various options under scan device. You have quick scan, which runs a quick scan on a device at your request. You have a custom scan, which offers multiple scanning options, which may include full scan, scan all apps, scan selected apps, scan only the memory card, or scan only a selected folder. You have a schedule scan, which basically you can schedule a time when the scans can happen. So you have a security advisor which guides you about the settings that can enhance the overall security of your smartphone. For example, if the screen lock setting is not enabled on your phone, then the security advisor will instruct you to enable this feature. Privacy advisor notifies and allows you to do a quick inspection of your apps that might affect your privacy. It helps you review the permissions used by such apps, and you can decide whether you want to keep them or not. Optimized device. This feature comprises the following functionalities that help increase the device performance. One is the performance monitor, where it allows you to check the functioning of your device, extend battery life, speed up your device performance, and view performance reports. Network monitor. It manages the networks being used on your device. There's also a feature which is called as secure data. Now, this feature helps you back up the data on to cloud. It helps you to restore backup from the cloud. It helps you delete the backup from the cloud in case you don't want it, and you can delete your personal data permanently with this feature. Set privacy. Now, we all know we all receive unwanted calls and messages, so we provide you protection against them. You can filter calls and messages, and you can block incoming calls and SMS from unknown or unwanted numbers. International call block. This feature allows you to block unknown international calls. Message exception list. You can displays non-numeric senders are excluded from SMS blocking. So, if you have your uh, SMS coming in from your bank, which is basically a non-numeric sender, then you can set exceptions and receive those SMS in your message inbox. Privacy protection can maintain a list of private list of contacts and secure call logs and messages associated with such contacts. Parental control. It features helps you block malicious and potential dangerous websites. With this feature, you can block a particular website URL or websites based on categories such as adult, gambling, violence, etc. Background scan secures the entire file system on your mobile device for malicious threats and phishing sites. It remains active in operating memory for the device. Activity monitor. It gives you an extensive report on the activities performed by Quickheal Total Security on your device. This also includes data on blocked threats, updates, blocked SMS, calls, etc. Anti-theft. Quickheal's anti-theft technology prevents your device from being misused. It allows you to lock your device or erase the entire data remotely in case it gets lost or stolen. The technology offers another layer of protection against theft with more advanced features that captures images, record audio and video, and automatically dial and receive phone calls. Security Shield. The Security Shield displays the security level of your device data through graphical representation. Regular automated virus updates. Now, this feature helps you keep your device updated regularly. This is an automated process, so you don't need to worry about updating your device, or let's check if the device is patched or not. Trusted SIM list. So you also have a trusted SIM list feature which can capture information about up to 50 SIMs numbers, which can add it to the list. Any other SIM than them added to your device will render the device locked and cannot be used. This is a specific security feature given in case the mobile phone is lost or stolen, and where the thief tries to replace the SIM with the new SIM, which is basically unregistered. Remote device management. This feature helps you manage your lost or stolen device via QuickHeal's remote device management portal. From this portal, you can remotely track, lock, and unlock your device. You can also delete data on your device remotely and perform backup, restore the backup, and delete operations and configure parental control settings. Quick settings notification. This feature enabled you can get one-touch access to various device settings such as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile data, brightness, torch, etc. This brings us to the end of today's webinar. As I said, if you have any questions, please do feel free to write us at corporatecommunications@quickhill.co.in. In case you have questions in the chat window, we will try and answer those questions right away if time permits. You can follow us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/quickhealav. You can also follow us on our Twitter handle, which is twitter.com/quickheal. Our Google Plus page is bit.ly/quickheal Google Plus. You can also see the recording of today's webinar at youtube.com/quickheal, and the presentation will be hosted on slideshare.net/quickhealppts. For more information on Quickheal products, please visit us at www.quickheal.com, and to know the latest news on the security world, visit us at blogs.quickheal.com. I will now hand over the proceedings to Saurabh. Before that, I go ahead. Let me check if we have questions that we have received from today's audience. Okay, we have a question from Lionel Christie, who says, there is a website hacker that is not getting unhijacked named mystartsearch.com. I think this is related to your desktop computer. I suggest you check your browser settings to see if you can remove these add-on programs that are installed in your browser. If that helps you answer the question. If you need more help, please call us on our uh, helpline for India. The number is 927-2233-000. Uh, we have a question from Mr. Deepak Khosla. It's been declared that there is no need for an antivirus on Android mobile phones. Well, Mr. Khosla, you need an antivirus to protect your phones from a lot of things that we have covered in today's webinar, not only from fraudulent or malicious websites, which on the first go, if you're not a professional, it can't be identified that easily. Sometimes in the rush of the hour, what we tend to do is we tend to just click on whatever sites we think are legitimate and genuine. Actually, if these sites are not legitimate, and if these are basically fraudulent sites, then what you can do is basically compromise the security of your device. So as I've explained even in our webinar, there are a lot of security concerns that you might face in case you do not have good security software for your device. Okay, we have Mr. Vinayak Kali who was requested us to share the PPT. So Vinayak, sir, as we have already advised, the presentation will be hosted on Slideshare. You can see there is a Slideshare link on that I had shared in the earlier screen. It's slideshare.net/quickhealppts. Please do not worry. In the follow-up email that will be sent to all our attendees tomorrow, And all those who have missed the webinar tomorrow, we will share with you a link to the presentation of this webinar and also to the recording video of this webinar. From We have a question from Lakshmipathy. How to ensure that the mobile call indicating as response to a transaction is true? Well, Mr. Lakshmipathy, as I have said, if you're considering the banking related information, then none of these banks will ask for information over a SMS or over a call. If you're still unsure and you want to verify, then I would recommend you step into the bank and get all the information verified then and there itself. We have a question from Abhishek Vig. When we install these banking apps, while installing the app, it asks for permission of call logs, messages, location, photos, and media. So, is there any risk for giving permission for that? Now, this is, Abhishek, if you are downloading an app from a genuine source, uh, or the official source, like you have the Google uh, Play Store in case of Android phones, and you have verified the developer of that app is the bank itself, then you can definitely go ahead and share. But you need to be careful about apps when you are downloading them which are not from a trusted source. You need to check of what permissions they ask. To give you an example, a very simple example. Uh, you are playing a simple offline game, and that offline game asks you basically to share information about the location. Now, that is not something that is required for an offline game to know where your location is. So, these kind of hints can be useful for you to determine if you should be installing those apps or not. How to keep my Android or iPhone protected from keylogger? Well, if you are installing any software, make sure that that is from a genuine and a trusted source. Make sure you have a good antivirus on your mobile device, because that will help you differentiate between a genuine and a fake website. Now, generally, keyloggers they do not come through a legitimate source. They come via unauthorized apps or unauthorized third-party source from unauthorized third-party websites, malicious websites. So, if you have a genuine software and a good antivirus software, this will help you detect and differentiate between a genuine software, a genuine antivirus, a genuine website, and a fake one. So that way you can be protected against installing these applications. Is it safe to recharge online from third party apps, where Mr. Tushar Tulaskar has asked us this question. Mr. Tulaskar, to answer your questions, whenever you're doing a third party payments through different websites, there are few things that you need to check. Before you use a third party app, you need to check if that app is from downloaded from a genuine site, if the developer of that app is somebody you know is genuine. Whenever in doubt, I strongly recommend, please speak to your friends, to your families, who somebody whom you've known to be an avid user of online banking resources. Whenever in doubt, please ask them. If you can't find somebody instantaneously, go to the internet, check for the reputation of that app, check for what are people talking about that app. If there is something fishy, you will definitely stumble upon some news where it said that this app is fishy, don't go for it. Always trust your instance. In this case, whenever you are not sure about something, please stop there, don't proceed, because that can lead to compromising the security of your device. There is a question from Mr. Dinesh Shah. My mobile was stolen while driving. Is it possible for these thieves to change the IMEI number? Well, sir, this is something that is not something that I cannot comment upon at this moment, because I do not have information, but we'll definitely come back to you with your answer, with the answer to your question. We have a question from Mr. Pankaj Rathi. He says, I want to know if somebody sends me an image or a video to my WhatsApp or Facebook and I can download it, then can that person hack my mobile phone? Well, to answer your question, Mr. Rathi, there are simple rules that we follow on the internet, rules that have been taught to us as children by our parents or by our guardians. So rules like we do not talk to strangers, we do not accept things from strangers, we do not open door for strangers, we do not believe in people, in strangers. Same rules apply to the internet. If you do not know somebody over the internet, do not accept things from them, because you never know, the intent of that person who's sending you these files might be a bad guy, or he may have a malicious intent of stealing your information. So same rule of thumb that applies. If you do not know somebody over the internet, do not accept things from them. How do security risks get handled during downloading of mobile apps? Well, you always have to make sure that the security apps that the app basically that you download, there is settings in the Android where it says that do not download apps from unknown source. So when you talk about unknown sources, these are untrusted sources, which is not at the official source of that app. If this security is checked, then you will not be able to download apps from an unknown source, if that helps you answer the question. Is one-time password the latest and the safest way to transit? Well, Mr. Satish Patil asked this question. To answer this question, Mr. Patil, this is the latest technology that the financial institutions have been using to safeguard users from fraudulent transactions, because there is a certain rise, and something that an extra layer of security that's been given by the financial institutions is one time password. Rooted phones is safe for banking. Well, as I've explained you earlier, this question is asked by Kirit Kumar. Now, to answer your question, rooted phones basically are phones where the security of that phone is not 100% covered. Now, when I talk about rooted phones, basically these phones are have been loaded with operating systems which is not meant for that phone. And typically talking about these scenarios, what happens is the security patches are missing, and these lead to the vulnerabilities which can be exploited by the hackers. So rooted phones are not safe for banking. Mr. Somshekhar Mistry has asked us a question. Mr. Somshekhar is using the Quick Heal antivirus in his mobile and would like to set up the anti-theft. So, Mr. Somshekhar, please go to the settings of the phone where it will help you there is a feature called as anti-theft. If you switch it on, it will ask you to put a question. It will ask you to set up security questions, and it's a very simple two-step process where you can set up anti-theft on your phone. Mr. Manjunath has asked us to tell us more about the Android phone uh, security software. Well, Mr. Manjunath, please visit quickheal.com. We have mentioned all the details and the features of the Quickheal products on the website. The name of the product is Quickheal Total Security for Android. There's one question where where our attendee has asked us, one of my friend has installed a keylogger and it's not showing anywhere on my mobile. He's getting mails of all my data. This is an example of a vulnerability keylogger which has been placed on your device. Please get a genuine antivirus software which will protect you from these kind of vulnerabilities to affect the privacy of your data. I would suggest you take professional help in this regard to get rid of this security vulnerability. We have another question from Mr. Satish Patil again. MasterCard or Visa 3D security, is it useful or not? Definitely the 3D security is useful here, because this again provides you with an additional layer of security which is provided by these uh, banking companies. Mr. Jashanpreet Singh has asked us a question. Is there any technology to locate Android device without the Android connected to the net? Well, this is what we have discussed in the QuickHeal's remote device management tool. This utility is present on all the QuickHeal products, where your device last location can be traced on this remote device management technology. To know more, please visit quickheal.com to know more about the QuickHeal's remote device management uh, portal. Mr. Sagar Pathak has asked us a question. How can I identify that my mobile communication is not overheard by others? Now, to answer your question, Mr. Sagar Pathak, these uh, there are security, the programs which help you stop such eavesdropping programs to listen to or overhear the conversation. These kind of programs are called as spywares. Now, what do these spywares do is they basically transmit or record all the conversations that you're having, like the keystrokes that you have done on your mobile phone, to a third party person. If you have a good, robust mobile security software installed on your device, it will detect these programs in advance before they get installed. If there is an adware or a spyware program that you're about to install, it will give you a warning that you should not install this software, as this is a spyware, and it will remove that spyware from being installed on your system. I think we have a few more questions, but it's time up. So uh, we have a few questions which we would like to answer to all our attendees today via email. So please do not worry. All your questions will be replied to you via an email. Thank you very much for attending to today's webinar. I would now like to hand over the mic to Saurabh to conclude the proceedings.
Thank you for being with us at this webinar. We hope the webinar has helped you understand the security risks in mobile banking in a better manner. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.